I'm here, not there. My mind is loaded and ready. Nothing can stop me. I live in the castle that I've built with my own two hands. It is my home that towers over my land. People come to visit it, not me. They call me a genius, a mad scientist in fact. They see me smile, and I smile back, but they'll never see. I shift my mask on my face, and I begin to write. This is the story of my life. The story from when I was born into this world to today. When I came into this world, I blinked into existence. I shuffled uncomfortably as people of all types greeted me, then ignored me. It was odd. I could hear them but not see them. As I looked from the village, I wanted to make my place in this world. So I spent many days and nights traveling until I came upon a jungle. I decided it was far enough away that I could build without being noticed, all the while still hearing the voices. I dug a hole and went deep into the earth. The darkness felt familiar and welcoming. I knew from past lives that man-made caves would stay cool in the summer and keep the heat in during the winter, so I did not have to build a climate control system. I hid in my cave, all the while making it bigger. I worked hours with my pick over my shoulder, the steady boom, boom, boom of it biting the stone echoing. This was my first house. I started to recognize the voices after a while. I became used to their constant presence. It was strange and yet real. I started to talk, and they seemed to be able to hear me. I was shy at first. I didn't want anyone to hurt me or destroy my work. As time went on, I built a small underground farm and opened this world's first farmer's market. I liked my humble little job. It paid for the improvements on the house. I started to build more, talk more. I was no longer the shy young girl. I had a job and a house. After time, I became powerful and wealthy. No one knew me, and no one would suspect the power I had. I couldn't live in the hole any longer. I needed a place of power and elegance, something to tower over my land, for me to start my laboratories. I wanted more space than I had, so I came to the surface. I started to build from the ground up. Brick by brick, my castle had started to appear. The building was made of towers. It circled so that the courtyard was enclosed and safe. There was one problem. The gates were just doors, wooden doors no less. I had to fix this. I needed to build a proper gate. So I set to the mines. I wasn't looking for diamonds, gold, or obsidian. I was looking for redstone. I found it, and as my pick dug into the rock, a red powder came out. It was beautiful, a crimson red powder that glowed on its own. I knew I needed it to build the gate, and I brought it home with me. I worked over my bench and created the pistons, and then I wired the solid iron doors so that I could keep people out or let them in. I looked around my castle, the floors empty. It didn't feel like home yet. I still returned to my caves. The first thing I built was the telescope. I wanted to see the stars again. That was one thing I missed when living underground. I made my bedroom next to it. The very top of the main tower, in fact. I put my bed next to the telescope, so I could see the stars every night. That was the time I moved into the castle, into my home. I decided to build the labs next. I needed to pursue my love of science. It started with a simple brewing stand. I bought the materials of my potions and set to work. That lasted me a while, but soon the voices grew louder and louder. They wanted me. They needed me. I needed to figure out why or how I could even hear them. That's when it happened. I built the first subject chambers. I built the surgical table. My tools were carefully placed in chests, and I was ready. The last thing now was to get a test subject, but no one in their right mind would volunteer. I needed to trap someone. That's where you come in. You're reading this, and as you do, I'm watching you, waiting for you to realize I've closed the gates, and there's no way out. Go on, close the book now, I dare you. You can't escape me. I am the ruler of this land. I am the masked woman with the mad goggles. I am your doom and your ruler, and I will be your jailer. Now look at me. my test subject.